Hi, ma'am. Good morning.
Yeah, hello, good morning.
Hello, am I audible now? Hello,
Hello.
Hello.
good morning, am I audible?
Your voice is not clear.
Now?
Yeah, now.
Okay, good morning, how are you guys?
No, there is some disturbance.
Disturbance. Okay. 1 second. What is the disturbance? Okay. Now is it clear?
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
ma'am. Clear.
Okay. Good morning, how are you guys?
Fine,
Hi,
ma'am.
ma'am.
And
Fine.
you?
I am also doing great. Thanks for nice food yesterday, Mausami. It was really, really yummy. Okay. Somehow you came to know that I wanted to eat puri.
It's
Yes.
connect.
Yes, yes. I was thinking yesterday morning only that this weekend I'll make puri because I wanted to eat, and you
Okay.
got it yesterday. So I was very happy. Okay, great. We have finished unit 1. Okay, we will be starting with unit 2 now. Unit 1 was very easy, right, Yogesh?
Right, right.
Yes, very easy for you. Very good.
Now unit 2
Unit
will
2.
start. Okay.
Yes. And unit 2 is a little difficult. Again, it's easy, but it's very important because here we talk about tenses. We start with tenses, and that's where we get to know how to use simple present tense. Okay. Is my screen visible?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes,
Visible.
Okay, great.
yes.
So we'll be starting with the unit 2. What do you do? Here, first we talk about time. Here we have top 6 part-time part-time jobs that students can take up. Okay. Uh, Yogesh, I want you to read them one by one.
Yes. Top six student part-time job in United States.
Hmm.
First one is user. Second one is tutor.
First one is
Third is
usher. First one is usher.
staff.
Usher.
Okay.
Okay.
Usher.
Hmm.
Second is tutor. Third is
Tutor.
team assistant.
Hmm.
Fourth is caregiver.
Hmm.
Fifth is server. And last one is fitness instructor.
Very good. Now, what do you understand when we say usher? Who is an usher? Any
It's
idea?
uh,
Hmm. No? No problem. Masmi, do you
no,
want to
no.
try if you remember?
Yeah, it's for bar assistant uh, who assist the customers,
Who assists the customers, who guides the customers.
guide the
Basically, if you
customer.
remember, when we had paper tickets, we used to go to a movie theater,
Yes,
and
yes.
over there used to be a person who used to check our ticket in the movie theater
Mhm.
itself. There used to be a person who used to check our ticket and tell us which seat, where is our seat exactly in
Mhm.
the theater. So that person is called an usher. Same way you have an usher during an exam also, and other places also. Okay. But movie theater is where we could remember him very easily because we used to go when we were small. Nowadays there are paper tickets and there is no one to guide. There is only one person who gives you 3D goggles. Okay, next we have a tutor. Tutor, you already know, he is a person who teaches according to the subject expertise. Right? Next we have a team assistant. Team assistant, it's mostly related to sports teams. You might know that whenever there are sports teams, they need help, right? Uh, Help could be something like where they are supposed to give water bottle, or where they are supposed to, just help with the ball or something which need basically. So that's what a team assistant is, assisting the team, assisting the coach mainly, okay, of that sports team. Then we have a caregiver. What do we understand by a caregiver?
Caretaker,
Caretaker.
caretaker.
old persons.
Yes, a person who takes care of senior citizens or old people, we can say. That person is called a caregiver.
Caretaker.
Okay. Now, in India we do not have that concept, but in foreign countries, yes. In India we have it, but not very widely, I would say. We hire nurses instead whenever we want someone to take care of an old person, right? That's
Yes,
what becomes important. So giving them medicines, giving them, taking care of them, keeping them entertained, everything comes into caregiving. Same way we have a babysitter, right?
yes,
Babysitter, Yogesh, you know who is a babysitter,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Right.
Okay, great. Then we have a server. Who is a server? Server is similar to what we call in India waiter.
Yes.
Okay, he serves people, so he's called a server. Then we have a fitness instructor. Fitness instructor, they guide in fitness activities, right? Now,
Yes.
you have to tell me which jobs are easy, which are difficult according to you, and why.
Okay. Uh,
Tell me fast.
caregiver, fitness instructor.
You have to make a full sentence.
Okay, it's difficult for the caregiver people because they have to like take care of old people, senior people. So it's not that much easy.
Okay.
Yes, and fitness structure.
Instructor.
Fitness.
Fitness
Uh,
instructor.
okay, fitness instructor is also a difficult job because he has to maintain like other people's
Fitness.
yes
And she
fitness.
has to be fit herself, which is also very difficult. He or she. Correct? Okay. Yogesh, what do you think?
uh, the team assistant job is a difficult job in my point of view
Mm-hmm.
because the team assistants have to be present mentally as well as physically during this game.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a difficult job, and a server job is a very easy job
Okay.
because server just follow some um, guidelines.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Okay.
okay,
Great. According to me, if you ask me, all the jobs are difficult depending on their uh
Mm,
the efforts that they need. Usher, you have to stand every day. Okay, stand like whole day during your tenure. Hardly you will get time to sit, I would say. Though it's an easy job that okay, only you have to guide people, but standing for the whole day again, it's not very easy. Tutor, you need to study well before you teach someone else. Okay, ask me how
mm,
difficult it is. Again, you need to have patience, you need to slow down, you need
yes,
to
yes, yes,
go faster. So everything needs to be managed according to the
yes,
people
yes,
that you have. And again, you need expertise over that subject. right?
Hmm.
Team assistant, it
Okay.
totally depends on what kind of team you are assisting. Again, the way you said, Yogesh, it gets difficult, but sometimes it can be easy also. Caregiver, I feel it is very very difficult because you have to take care of old people and you have to keep them entertained, you have to take care of them. Sometimes they can be a little cranky, a little moody, so it takes emotional efforts rather than physical efforts, I would say, right? When you take care of someone
Hmm.
who is older than you. Then server, again, you have to stand the whole day, you have to remember everything, you have to remember the items that you have, you don't have to remember the items that you don't have for that particular day. And again, people don't treat you well, that also you have to put up with. So another thing is fitness
Okay.
instructor. Then yes, the way I said, you have to be fit to be a fitness instructor, so that also becomes important.
Hmm.
But again, I feel okay, usher job is easy if we just consider the job part, and tutor if you're good with the subject, I feel it's easy.
Okay.
If you really have a strong hold over that subject, you can teach easily, it's not a very big effort. Okay, what is your opinion, are these jobs good for students?
Uh, for the
Um,
student.
Hmm.
yes.
As part-time jobs. So basically,
Hmm.
why are these part-time jobs for students? You might know that in foreign universities, when students go uh, to university, basically what we call college over here, they start working. Okay, they start taking care of their own expenses. They start, sometimes they support their parents also. Sometimes they just have to take care of their college expenses as well on their own if they want to get educated. So that is the reason they start with part-time jobs. Okay, once they enter university, and once they enter university, they're out of the house, so they have to take care of the expenses. There is no easy way for them. Okay, so that is the reason these are part-time jobs for students mainly. Now, why we are saying that, okay, are these jobs good for students? These jobs usually don't need any kind of certifications, right? Any kind of degree. Anyone can take it up, correct? If I plan to
Okay.
become a trainer, or if I plan to become a lawyer, I would need a certification, I would need a degree, right? But these jobs,
Yes.
they don't need such kind of a certification or degree. Fitness instructor, of course, now it has become a mandate that you are certified, but sometimes you can just guide on your own also if you're good with it, right? So that is the reason we are asking, are these good jobs for students?
Okay.
What do you think?
I think a caregiver job is not easy for the student
Mm-hmm.
because they have to present whole days
Mm-hmm.
with the duty.
Okay. But in foreign countries, if you see, they have the concept of hiring someone only for few hours also, only for one particular day. Okay, over in India, we see that okay, we hire someone for a long period of time, like a month or 2 months, when we are not around. But in foreign countries, even babysitter and caregiver say, I am only going out today for 2 hours. Okay, and I
Hmm.
need someone to
Yeah.
take care of my
Okay.
nanny. I will just hire that person for 2 hours.
Okay.
So even that
Yeah.
works. And one plus point over there is the minimum wages are good. So even if these people are putting up only 2 hours, putting in only 2 hours, they will still get paid good. Okay, it will help them with their
Okay.
week long expenses, I would say. So that is
Okay.
how it becomes helpful. Okay, so that's how
Okay.
it is. Now you have to tell me, what are some other student jobs that they can take up? What are some other jobs that students can take up?
Yeah. Some
Hmm.
delivery man.
Correct. What
Then
else?
uh, they can also do as a cab driver.
Cab driver. Okay.
Then student can also be as a uh, 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 they can also do job in the malls and other shopping malls and other.
Correct. Very good. Mosimi, anything from you?
Yeah. Part-time sales representative or
Mm-hmm.
receptionist.
Okay. Yes.
Mm.
Also, if you guys know, just like babysitter is not given, so I already told you about babysitter and
Mm.
dog sitter, like taking a dog for a walk or
Yes.
even
Yes.
taking care of a dog for a whole day, dog or a cat, like any type of pets. Even that is one more job that anyone can take up. I know it's more famous in foreign countries, but trust me, in India we need it. There are
Yes.
some places where they take care of dogs and cats. You can just go and drop them. It's like a boarding. You can go and drop them if you're
Yes,
going out,
yes.
but it's not easy because there are other pets around there. Not all pets can live with other pets, and even sometimes it comes to hygiene part also. So if we have a dog sitter or a pet sitter in India, it will be a really good thing, because sometimes we have to go out somewhere for 2 3 days and we need someone to take care of our cat or a dog, right? So it becomes better. Sometimes it becomes better that they come to our place and take care of him or her, because it's not the pets can't live in other environment, right? They are used to their environment, so that's why it becomes helpful. I feel so. I have a pet, that's why. So whenever we have to go anywhere for 2 3 days, then we have to think twice, because we can't leave him alone and go.
Cat or dog?
It's a cat. Now it's a cat. When I was at my dad's place, we had a dog.
Mm.
So it was
I have
this.
also a dog.
You like dogs?
Not that much, but
Mm-hmm.
now I'm loving.
Oh, now I like, you can say.
Okay, now I'm like,
You have a husky, right?
yes, yes.
So you have it here or you're at a hometown?
No, here only.
Oh, really? Okay. I,
Mm.
I see the pictures every day, but
Yeah,
I never asked you. Hmm,
she's
nice.
sleeping next to me.
She's also learning English, I guess. Nice. One more student added to my list.
Yes.
Okay, great. Here we have a simple exercise. We are not going to do it in the class. It's very, very easy for you guys. There are some jobs given on the left hand side. Okay, left hand side. You have to just put them into the correct categories. Some jobs can even go into different categories. Okay, for example, if we talk about receptionist, it can be in office work also, it can be in food service also. Okay, website
Mm.
designer, you guys know already. Tour guide also, you guys know, a person who guides us when we go on tours, right? So you just need to put them into correct category. It's a very easy exercise, but do it for homework. Okay, next, here we have sentences. Okay, here what you need to do is, first sentence has been done for you. You just need to connect the sentence. Okay, it's a sentence, but it's divided into three parts. You just need to connect them. For example, a salesperson sells clothes in a department store, right? Here we can see in the picture also, that's what she is doing. Same way you need to connect all the other sentences. Very easy, again, do
Yeah.
it quickly.
Second one is theft,
you can you
postcode,
can write it
will
down
provide.
first. You can write it down first. Okay, Mosby.
Yes. Yeah, I have already done it.
Okay, okay, great. Just 1 second. Yogesh, tell me.
Yeah. Uh, Chef cooks food in a restaurant.
A chef, a chef
Cook
cooks,
cook food
cooks,
in a
cooks.
restaurant.
S mat miss karo. Cooks food. A chef cooks food
In a restaurant.
in a restaurant. Open your mouth and speak. Okay, a little bit. Hmm. Go on, next.
A mechanic fix car in a garage.
Fixes. S है ना? Yes. A mechanic
Okay.
fixes
Okay.
cars.
In a garage.
Mhm.
A carpenter builds a house for a construction company.
Builds houses. Houses.
Okay. In a, in a for a construction company.
Very good. Next.
A reporter writes stories for a newspaper.
Writes
Okay.
stories. Writes stories. Stories nahi. Writes stories.
For a newspaper.
Mhm.
A, a nurse cares for a patient in a hospital.
Okay. Done. Right? Very good. Now, this is how we frame the sentence for simple present tense. Okay, we are going to look at it again. Your task is you have to do the task B for homework. You have to break down the sentences and you have to use the words he, she instead of the name of the profession, and you have to rewrite the sentences again. Okay, that is the task that you have to do for homework. Next, here we have a conversation. First, I want you guys to read the conversation. Yogesh will be Jason and Mosby will be Andrea.
Okay. Okay. Where do you work, Andrea?
I work at Cook Travel.
Oh, really? What do you do there?
I'm a guide. I take people on tours to countries in South America like Peru.
How interesting.
Yeah, it's a great job. I really love it. And what do you do?
Oh, I'm a student. I have a part-time job too.
Yogesh, you don't have
For
to run slow. I'm a student. I have a part time job too.
Oh, I'm a student. I have a part-time job too.
where do you work?
In a fast food restaurant.
Whose restaurant?
Hamburger even.
Heaven, heaven. Hamburger, heaven. Okay, now here I'm going to play the audio. We are going to listen to the same conversation. Okay, and then we will listen to the second part of the conversation also, and you have to try answering the question which has been given over there. Okay, just give me one
Oh,
second.
Unit 2. What do you do? Page 9, Exercise 4, Conversation. Where do you work? Part A. Listen and practice.
Where do you work, Andrea?
I work at Thomas Cook Travel.
Oh, really? What do you do there?
I'm a guide. I take people on tours to countries in South America, like Peru.
How interesting.
Yeah, it's a great job. I really love it. And what do you do?
Oh, I'm a student. I have a part-time job, too,
Where do you work?
in a fast food restaurant.
Which restaurant?
Hamburger Heaven.
Okay,
Page 9.
now we listen to the second part of the conversation. Here you have to try answering the question, what does Jason do exactly and how does he like his job? Okay,
Okay.
Exercise 4, Part B. Listen to the rest of the conversation. What does Jason do exactly? How does he like his job?
What do you do exactly? Do you make hamburgers?
No, I don't. I'm a cashier. I just take orders.
And what's it like there? Do you like your job?
Sure, it's fun. And I get free hamburgers too.
Page 10, exercise.
Just 1 second. Just 1 second. Okay. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. Now, here, what does Jason do exactly, and how does he like his job?
He is a cashier.
Mm-hmm.
He takes orders from customers.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yes, he likes his job because it's funny and he
It
gets
is
free
fun,
hamburger.
not funny. It is fun.
Okay,
Fun and
it's
funny is
fun.
different, okay?
Okay,
Okay.
Hmm. It is fun.
and he gets free hamburger.
Okay. He gets free hamburgers too. Okay, very good. Did you get it, Yogesh?
Yes, sir.
Okay, no worries. Now, here, one more thing that you need to remember is that the sound of R. Okay, most of the times when the sound of R comes after a what are vowels?
AEIOU.
A, E, I, O, U.
In
Whenever the letter R comes after a vowel, okay,
Okay.
it will be silent. For example, over here we can see, where do you work? Where do you work? It will not be where do you work. Okay, where do you
Okay.
work? I work at Thomas Cook Travel. अभी travel में R pronounce है क्यों? Because T is a consonant, right? It is coming after a consonant, so we will pronounce that R. Okay, where do you
Okay.
work? That is how I will say. Then at start of the word में आ रहा है R, तो we will again pronounce it. Oh really? What do you do there? I am a guide. I take people on tours to countries in South America, like Peru. Understood? तो this
Yes,
is
sir.
one way to work on your mother tongue influence. Okay, हमारा मदर टंग इन्फ्लुएंस जो रहता है उस पर वर्क करने के लिए ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट आ जाता है कि whenever the R, what we do is हम R जब भी आता है सेंटेंस में या फिर वर्ड में, हम उसको स्ट्रेस करके प्रोनाउंस करते हैं, राइट? जैसे कि वर्क, करेक्ट, या फिर देर, हियर, ऐसे करके. सो दैट्स व्हाट वी हैव टू रिमेंबर. इफ इट्स कमिंग आफ्टर अ वावल, इट विल बी साइलेंट. Okay, it helps us to work on our accent. That is one more thing that you need to
yes,
remember. Okay, same way, hamburger heaven. Hamburger heaven. Okay,
Okay.
very good. Now we move to the grammar part for today. Here we have simple present tense. Here we start off with tenses. You guys already know what are tenses, right? Tenses are basically used
yes,
to talk about time, whether the action is happening right now, whether the action has happened in the past, or it will be happening in the future, correct? Or whether it's a
Correct.
repeated or a habitual action. That is why we use tenses. It helps us to define when the action is happening, has happened, or will happen, correct? And how do we change our tenses? By changing our verbs. That is how we change our tenses. That is the reason verbs become very, very important. Verbs, we already know they are nothing but the action words that we have in the sentence. Without a verb, we cannot make a sentence. Okay? Now, the first tense we look at is simple present tense. How many tenses are there? Overall, 12 types of tenses. Three main types: present, past, and future. And then we have subtypes: simple tenses, continuous tenses, perfect tenses, and perfect continuous tenses. Okay? So, हर एक tense में we will have simple tense. So, simple present, simple past, simple future. Then say हर एक इसमें we will have continuous tense, present continuous, past continuous, future continuous. ऐसे करके overall we have 12 types of tenses, but we do not look at them all at once. Why? Because that's when it gets confusing. Okay, so what we do is instead we look at them one by one. We look at them one by one. We understand how to use it. We understand how to implement it in the sentence. We do a nice thorough practice on it, and then we move to the next tense. Okay, तो एक एक टेंस को हम पहले
Okay.
समझते हैं and then we go to the next tense that is needed. Understood?
Yes.
Understood.
Yes. Okay, great. Now first one that we look at is simple present tense. Okay, now this is the most important one and this is the most trickiest one. Why? Because in India we always use ing. जब भी कुछ हमें बोलना है हम ing यूज करते हैं, right? मैं रोज कोई एक्शन करता हूँ तो उसके लिए भी आई विल यूज ing, and we don't use simple present tense, and that is the reason we focus more on simple present tense in our course, because it is again very important. Okay, again simple present tense में ing नहीं आता. Okay, so we use this tense to mainly talk about actions which we do as a habit or repeatedly. The actions that we do as a habit or repeatedly. For example, we have our class every day at 9. I take your class every day
Okay.
at 9. It's a repeated action, right?
Yes.
Instead of every day, I can also say during weekdays, from Monday to Friday. क्योंकि every day नहीं होता, Saturday Sunday छुट्टी रहती है, so Monday to Friday. Correct? That is something that I can use to highlight. Then I can also talk about repeated action or habits in similar way. Monkeys eat bananas. Same way I can talk about my habit that okay, as soon as I wake up I drink coffee. It's my habit, right? That is how I can use simple present tense. Then we can also use simple present tense to talk about a person's routine on a particular day. Say I have a routine only on Sunday. On Sunday mornings, I get up at 5 o'clock, I take a cup of tea and then go for a walk. At 8, I take my breakfast and then I go through my mails. So this is my routine only on Sunday. So I will still use simple present tense because I do this action every Sunday. Okay. Then the most important one, we use simple present tense to talk about permanent truths. परमानेंट ट्रुथ्स, जो चीज़ हम चेंज नहीं कर सकते. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, पुणे इज इन महाराष्ट्र. कैन आई चेंज दैट?
No.
No.
Sun rises from the east. Can I change that?
No.
No.
So these are permanent truths. These are just few examples of permanent truths. चीज़ें जो हम change नहीं कर सकते. Same way, the examples which are given on the screen. The sun gives us heat and light. Sea breeze blows from the sea to the land. Okay.
Okay.
Next, last one, which is a, again tricky one, that we can also use it to talk about already planned future event. But already planned future event के लिए हम उसको कब use कर सकते हैं? Only when that action is a scheduled action. Okay, and usually वो schedule repeat होता है. So it's very tricky one the way I said कि वो schedule repeat होता है. For example, if I say my train leaves at 4 o'clock, so वो रोज 4 o'clock को निकलती है ना, और मैं उस दिन उसको
No.
लेने वाली हूँ. So I will use simple present tense. But usually I would say avoid using simple present tense for future events, otherwise it will get confusing for you. Remember the three main uses that I told you. It is used to talk about permanent truths, scientific facts, habitual and repeated actions.
Yes.
Okay.
ओके, ये तीन चीज़ों के लिए हम उसको यूज़ करते हैं, ये आपको याद रखना है. ओके, नाउ कमिंग टू दी sentence structures. Now here we use s with the verb. The way you did that first exercise of speaking, if you remember, we use s with the verb. We already know that whenever we make a sentence, the sentence structure is very simple. We have a subject, we have a verb, and then we have an object. But in simple present tense, whenever we have third person singular, remember third person singular हमने किया था फर्स्ट यूनिट में फर्स्ट डे पे.
Uh-huh.
Third person
Yes.
singular, if I take the name of
It
that
is
person, or if I use
it.
yes he she it. Good, Yogesh remembers. Great. लोग भूल जाते हैं usually second unit तक आने तक. Okay, so he she it, or as the name of that singular person. वो हमारा थर्ड पर्सन सिंगुलर होता है, राइट? नाउ विथ थर्ड पर्सन सिंगुलर आई विल ऑलवेज यूज एस और ई एस विद द वर्ब. Okay, s or es with the verb. For example, I will say I drink coffee, you drink coffee, he drinks coffee, she
Yes.
drinks coffee. Okay, trust me, it looks very simple, it sounds very simple, but many people make mistakes in this. Okay, that is the reason this rule becomes very important. Same way, I go to school, he goes to
Goes to
school.
school.
That is for positive statements. Okay, you already know we had looked at three types of statements. So positive statement के लिए ये rule है. Negative statement जब हम बनाते हैं तो we use do and does. Do and does. अभी हम ऑलरेडी डज में हमारा एस यूज कर रहे हैं, सो अगेन विथ वर्ब वी विल नॉट यूज डज. Sorry, again with verb we will not use s. So in third person singular I will use the word does. I don't go to school every day, you don't go to school every day, he doesn't go to school
Doesn't.
every day. So जो मेरा s है वो ऑलरेडी does के साथ में आ रहा है, तो मुझे verb के साथ में वापस यूज करने की जरूरत नहीं है. Okay, same way we have our interrogative statements. Interrogative statement में yes and no question जब हम बनाएंगे तो we will start with does or do over here. Okay, do you have a laptop, does she have a laptop? Do you have a laptop, does she have a laptop? That is how I will use it. Okay, and then I have wh questions wale sentences, which is again where I will use do or does. When do you go to school, when does she go to school? Okay, that is how I will use it. Sentence structure is very simple for yes and no question. Do or does, then subject, then verb. Again with verb I will not use s over here. S कहाँ पर use होगा? Only in positive statements. Okay, so रूट फॉर्म ऑफ द वर्ब दैट इज कॉल्ड V1. वो V1 V2 क्या होता है वो हम 7th यूनिट में देखेंगे, अभी कंफ्यूज नहीं होना है, अभी सिर्फ वर्ब हमें याद रखना है. एंड देन वी हैव एन ऑब्जेक्ट एंड द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट विच इज क्वेश्चन मार्क. व्हेन यू आर आस्किंग क्वेश्चंस डोंट फॉरगेट योर क्वेश्चन मार्क्स. ओके, then if I'm making a WH question I will start with WH question word, where, when, who, how, and then I will use do, does, then the subject, then the root form of the verb and the object. Understood?
Yes.
Sounds very easy, but trust me, we make a lot of mistakes in this. Okay,
Yes.
that is the reason it becomes important. Write it down from here. Write down in your own words. Huh? Uses, write down in your own words. You don't need to write examples. Notes में आपको सब कुछ मिल जाएगा. You will just need to access notes on the Google Drive. ओके, नोट्स में मैंने कुछ एक्स्ट्रा यूजेस भी डाले हैं सिंपल प्रेजेंट टेंस के. सिंपल
मैम
प्रेजेंट टेंस के ऑलमोस्ट 11 यूजेस है. ओके, जस्ट 3
मैम वो
इंपॉर्टेंट
बार
वंस
बार
हैव हाइलाइटेड.
एक्सेस मांगते हैं.
बार बार एक्सेस आपको मांगना ही पड़ता है. यस,
ओके वैसा है.
एवरी
ओके.
यूनिट नहीं. एक बार ना मतलब मैं जो नोट्स भेजू, सॉरी मैं जो चेकलिस्ट भेजूंगी ना उससे एक्सेस
हाँ
मांगने से बजाय आप क्या कर सकते हो कि जो ग्रुप डिस्क्रिप्शन में लिंक है ना पूरे फोल्डर का एक बार एक्सेस ले लो, तो आप फिर वो
हाँ
जो
हाँ.
चेकलिस्ट है ना उसमें से डायरेक्टली एक्सेस कर पाओगे. चेकलिस्ट मैंने
ओके.
क्यों बनाया है आपको पता है, मैंने उस दिन बताया. सो इट बिकम्स इजियर
हाँ
फॉर यू
हाँ.
टू नो कि आपको क्या क्या करना है. Okay, because
यस.
there is too much.
Okay.
I know sometimes it's too much, but it is needed. Trust me, if you do everything diligently after every unit that I ask you to do, you will see progress in first 15 days. Okay, and I can guarantee you that. So that is the reason that checklist becomes important, because मैं ऐसे सिर्फ verbally बताती हूँ ना तो बहुत students confuse हो जाते हैं, मैम क्या क्या करना है. And then you guys miss out and then I get angry कि okay ये क्यों नहीं किया आपने. Correct?
I'll do the take the access of
Yes, take the access of
previous
the whole
part.
unit from the group
Mm-hmm.
description, and then you can access it from the links on
Okay.
checklist. Okay, unit 2 का भी मैं आज checklist end of the day तक बना के भेज दूंगी आप लोगों को. ठीक है,
Okay.
write it down quickly, Yogesh. I would prefer that you write down instead of typing. You're typing, right, Yogesh?
Yes, ma'am.
I would prefer that you write instead of typing. Okay, why I'm asking you to write? When you write something, you remember it for longer time. Okay, मसल
Okay.
मेमोरी होती है हमारी, इसीलिए तो स्कूल में भी हमें आज आज तक लैपटॉप्स अलाउ नहीं करते, राइट? दैट इज द होल रीजन. वैसे तो मैं आपको नोट्स फिर गूगल ड्राइव पर प्रोवाइड कर ही रही हूँ, तो आपको लिखने की क्या जरूरत है? लिखते हो तब आपको याद रहता है, इसीलिए मैं लिखने बोलती हूँ. इवन दो यू आर गोइंग टू गेट नोट्स, बट स्टिल यू शुड राइट. Just write the uses in your own words. You can skip the examples, okay? I hope you guys have prepared your introduction, or not yet.
Almost.
Almost. What about you, Yogesh?
Because
You forgot?
Yeah,
No
yeah.
problem. Do it today.
Actually,
Okay. You have to prepare your introduction. That's one task. And then you have to tell me about your routine on Monday. Okay. These two
okay,
tasks you have to do. These are your speaking tasks. You have to do. First is you will give me your introduction. That's what we'll start off with. Mosby and Yogesh, please do remind me if I forget. We'll start off with your introduction.
routine and
हाँ. And then you have to tell me your routine. And it should be in simple present tense. गलती से भी कहीं भी ing use किया तो I will ask you to write it down 10 times.
okay, okay.
okay.
You have to use only simple present tense. That's what you have to remember. Okay. Now how you will prepare, you can see that.
Okay.
Done? Okay. Next. Permanent truths and planned future events.
Okay, proceed then. Particular. Okay, I'm done.
Done? Okay.
Hmm.
Now write down this rule that are you, we will just use the verb. Whenever he, she, it is there, we will use s after the verb. Okay. Don't need to write down the examples. Examples are there in your notes also.
Okay,
Just you can write down one ki work becomes works, because Yogesh you don't have notes, right? So that's the reason. You can, what you can do is, Yogesh, if you have a printer at home or at office, you can just take the printout of the worksheets that we have. So it will become easier for you to solve the worksheets. Okay.
okay,
If possible, of course. If possible नहीं है, don't take that efforts, because बाहर से मत निकालो, because बहुत पैसे लगते हैं. It, at least in Pune they are charging 2 rupees per page, so it's too much I feel.
okay,
Okay, only if it's there in office or at home, then you take the printouts.
okay.
Like बाहर निकालने जाओगे प्रिंट आउट तो आपके 1,000 रुपए सिर्फ प्रिंट आउट में चले जाएंगे. Yes, that's the reason I'm saying.
तीन प्रिंटर थे मैडम ऑफिस में, अभी फ्लड में सारे प्रिंटर बेकार हो गए.
Uh-huh.
लास्ट लास्ट मंथ फ्लड आया था ना यहाँ पे,
Oh, हाँ हाँ हाँ. बाप रे. Okay. No worries,
पूरा ऑफिस का.
you can write it down. Otherwise, you can go to places where they provide you printouts in lesser price. Okay, you will have to find it out. कि जहाँ पर आप बल्क निकालते हो वहाँ पर फिर वो कम पैसे लेते हैं. जैसे कि पुणे में वी हैव वन कॉलेज, नियर दैट कॉलेज इफ वी गो, दे ओनली चार्ज अस 0.75 passive per page.
ओके, एक्चुअली मैं एक ये वर्कशीट का मैं पीडीएफ डाउनलोड करता हूँ और फिर पीडीएफ को फिर जो भी आंसर रहते हैं ना वहाँ पे मैं एडिट
हाँ, तो you're
करना चाहता
typing
हूँ.
it out. Now, हाँ, you can do that also, not a problem. You can just type it out. Hmm. That is also something that you can do. Yep. नॉट एवरी वन कैन डू दैट. मुझे खुद को भी नहीं आता वो कैसे करते हैं वो, इसीलिए आई डोंट सजेस्ट दैट. फिर वो मुझे स्टूडेंट्स को बताना पड़ेगा कि उसको कैसे करना है एडिट पीडीएफ, तो वो फिर टास्क हो जाएगा. इसीलिए आई यूजुअली डोंट सजेस्ट दैट, बट वंस हु आर एबल टू डू इट, यू गाइस कैन डू इट. आई हैव नो प्रॉब्लम. Done
Done,
writing?
ma'am.
Okay,
Yes.
next part, the sentence structures. Done?
Yes, ma'am.
Write down the interrogative statements quickly. Done?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, now try doing the exercise. We often use these words generally, usually, frequently, often, always to show that it's a repeated action. Okay. Seldom means basically बहुत कम बार, या फिर rarely, ये बोलने के लिए seldom भी हम use कर सकते हैं. ठीक है? Now try doing this exercise quickly. Here again you have to use simple present tense, the verbs, and make your sentences. We will look at some examples also. Just give me 1 second. Which is there in your book. For example, I can make the question saying, "What do you do?" And then you can answer, "I am a student. I have a part-time job too." The way we looked at it in the conversation. "Where do you work?" "I work at Hamburger Heaven." "Where do you go to school?" "I go to University of Texas." Now, this is for first person and second person. When we talk about third person, then we will use what does Andrea do? She is a guide. She takes people on tours. Where does she work? She works at Thomas Cook Travel. How does she like it? She loves it. That is how I will make questions in simple present tense. And the way I said, these words are given in your worksheet again. Okay? Same words which were there in the PPT. Now, try doing the exercise. You might have to use the verbs on your own, but the verbs which were there in the above example again. Done?
Yes.
Yogesh?
This one, second one is
Okay, okay, do it, do it. Not a problem.
yes, madam.
Done? Okay. Uh, Mosmi, you tell me the answer to the first one.
Yes. Um, and where do you go to school?
Where do you go
Or
to school?
and where do you go to school? I go to the New York School of Music.
New York School of Music. Okay. Go on, go on. Explain.
Okay.
Okay.
Next
Wow.
one.
How do you like your classes? I like them a lot. What does Tanya do?
Okay, that
She's
let Yogesh do this one.
okay.
Okay, Yogesh.
Okay. What does Tanya do? She's a teacher. She's a teacher. Teach, uh, okay.
She teaches.
She teaches an art class at school in Denver. And what about Ryan? Where does he work?
Ryan.
She,
Ryan. It's Ryan.
uh,
Mhm.
he works for a big computer company in San Francisco. What does he do exactly? He is a website designer. He makes fantastic website.
Fantastic
The-
websites. he designs, he makes, दोनों
He
भी use कर सकते
designs.
हैं.
Okay.
Designs because he is a designer, right? That is the reason we say designs mostly. Okay,
Okay.
great. Now here we are going to practice a little bit of pronunciations, that is your phonics, or that is what we call our voice and accent. For us we usually call it voice and accent. So just give me 1 minute, I'm going to just play that video quickly, but you will need to give me 1 minute before that to just open that video. One second. Yogesh, what is your work timing?
Ma'am, it's 10:30 to 6:30.
Okay, so you usually have to work from home or you go to the office?
No, I have to go to the office.
Okay, so are you getting late for today?
Yeah, actually, I leave home at 10:15.
10:15. Okay, so you have time, right? That is the reason I
Yeah.